Let's catch up on the Tampa Bay Rays. Harold Reynolds, you've been on this bandwagon for a while.
Well,
once you knew it wasn't going to be a full season, the marathon being eliminated kind of helps a team like this, right?
I love this team. And the reason being, not just the pitching that they have is so great, but the depth of the organization. You mentioned it. This is the #1 farm system in all of baseball. And, Tom, I'm convinced that it's going to be a 60-man battle here. It's not the 25. We're watching guys already going through testing and different things that happen along the way. And this is going to be your 60-man roster that's going to win this.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I also agree that the Tampa Bay Rays, from 1 through, you want to say 15 pitchers, more pure stuff than any team in baseball. And right now in this 60-game season, when you have expanded rosters early, it's about matchup baseball. And the Rays can match up stuff against any kind of hitter better than any team in baseball. That's why I like them at a short season. What I love about their stuff, Greg, is that they come at you in very unconventional ways. Okay. Let me explain to you what I mean by unconventional, because the stuff they bring comes at you in very different ways. Okay, let's start with their starting pitchers. Blake Snell, I call his breaking ball Skyfall. It's the second highest release point in baseball. It's sort of like Justin Verlander's, so it's got a lot of that vertical drop. Charlie Morton, it's more about that horizontal break. Only Corey Kluber's breaking ball breaks more side to side than that sweeper from Charlie Morton. Tyler Glasnow, he actually lets the ball go 8 feet in front of the rubber. This dude's throwing 97, 98 with an 8-foot extension from the rubber. This is why these guys are so tough to hit. Here's the curveball I'm talking about with Blake Snell. Look at the high release point. So for a hitter to track that when it's almost like that old-fashioned 12-6 curveball, forget it. You just cannot get underneath that breaking ball. Morton's curveball, I think this is one of the nastiest pitches in baseball, whether it's a righty or a lefty. And there's Glasnow with that super extension. And listen, he's got great velo, but it plays up because he's actually cheating the distance between the rubber and home plate with that extension. How about bullpen? Nick Anderson, flat out filthy. Look at that strikeout rate.
Unreal.
Why? That four-seam fastball, the second most rise. Now, it doesn't literally rise. It just doesn't sink. And that's what gets on hitters these days. Oliver Drake, he's like a lefty, a righty with that splitter. Look how often he throws that pitch. He can tell you it's coming. You still can't hit it. And Chaz Rowe, slider machine. 2/3 of his pitches are sliders. When it's that good, you can tell people it's coming. Here's the four-seam fastball from Anderson. It's going to be up in the zone most of the time, and hitters just cannot get on top of it. It doesn't sink as much as they think it does, so they swing under it. Drake has got this nasty split. Listen, he can match up on righties too, but especially you want to get a lefty out, you bring in Drake in the game, and he can tell you, hey, splitter's coming. You're not going to hit it.
He can rap too, man.
He can. And then you got Chaz Rowe, slider machine. Listen, this is the pitch that plays in today's game. That power slider, very late tilt to it. I think it's gotten better over the years. He's been on 10 different teams, never been better than he has been with the Rays. All right, you want pure velo? How about Diego Castillo slinging that 98 with a two-seamer? That's the hardest in baseball. Number 2 on the list is his teammate in the bullpen, Jose Alvarado. He's throwing 96, 97 with that. And Colin Poche, listen, he throws more four-seamers than anybody in baseball, and it's only like low 90s, but guys can't hit it. Why? Because he's got pure backspin. Here's Castillo's sinker. Look at the movement. I would actually ask the umpire to check the baseball because I don't think it's round the way this thing moves. But Alvarado can do it as well.
He's so nasty.
The movement on these pitches is just ridiculous, and you have to realize it's coming in at elite velocity. And then Poche, again, guys just don't pick up this pitch. The rise on this pitch, again, it's not about his heat. It's about this backspin on the baseball. The Rays do a great job of finding these pitchers with outlier stuff and having it play up in game situations. Kevin Cash is really good about finding the right spots for the right pitcher. He's got so many options, Greg. That's why I think this team is dangerous, because they can match up from the first inning to the last out.
Is this a coincidence, the variety of stuff, or do you think this is a front office vision that actually worked out? Like this was by design?
It is by design. Good example to you. Peter Fairbanks was a guy they picked up from the Rangers last year in a trade. Nobody ever heard of him. He had like a 4.5 ERA, had 2 Tommy John surgeries, but he actually had changed the way that he threw. He completely relearned how to throw after his second Tommy John surgery, so they've got themselves kind of a hidden gem. And his stuff played up once he got to Tampa because they do a great job with some of the metrics on spin rates. They do a great job of finding something in your game and having it play up.
I think this is fascinating because if this is the future of bullpenning, it's almost having a different position reliever. We need a sinker ball pitcher. We need one of those. It's not just best available.
It's funny you mentioned the sinker ball pitcher because we know those guys aren't really in demand, right? I went back and looked at the fastball batting average by height because we grew up thinking if you throw low in the zone, that's a good thing, right? Get the ball down. This tells you get the ball up. Fastballs down, get hit. The Rays understand this. Look, when the pitch gets up to 3 feet or more above, look how the batting average goes down. And the Rays, and I'll put the Astros in this group as well, and the Dodgers, but especially the Rays and some of their bullpen arms, they're going to work up in the zone. Even if you have elite velocity, Greg, if you're down in the zone, you're more liable to get hit than up in the zone. So that is by design what the Rays are doing. Yes, finding guys with stuff, maybe playing up, but teaching them force-spin, backspin that baseball, up in the strike zone, you won't get hit.
This is great.
And you throw a launch angle generation in there?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Hitting that.